It is literally the first day of spring,
It is.
which is just so beautiful. I didn't even put two and two together.
And it's the first day of Aries season.
Are you an Aries?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's like that fiery spring birth energy is just shooting through right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know too many Aries.
Really? The other day I was at a women's networking event and it was run by an astrologer and she was like talking about the astrology, current astrology, and she's, and we're going into Aries season. Anyone in the room in Aries? And I was like, me! And the girl next to me was like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, there you go. Tell me you're an Aries without telling me you're an Aries. Yes. And then me, the Scorpio in the corner, quiet and just by myself, like queen of that.
Observing. And silently judging everyone.
Okay, a little bit, no. No, I'm not God, I can't. I just see behaviors and patterns, that's all.
There you go, that's all.
Were you at Maya Moon with Jessica?
Yeah.
Jessica Love, a shout out to Jessica. She's an amazing astrologer.
She is amazing.
I haven't been to the women's event. I was at the Cacao Circle last night with Catherine.
Oh, nice.
Do you know Janae, the artist?
Yes.
So it was Janae and I, and we were there. It was a really nice evening.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, the cacao was so good. It always is there.
It always is.
Shout out to Maya Moon.
Shout out to Maya Moon, my favorite place in all of San Diego,
really
actually.
Is. I've been doing drop-in readings there. So I just pop up my little table, I pull up my little cards, and people come and go as they please.
I love that.
It's been the most interesting, every reading. Anytime I pop up, it's so interesting, but
I need to come do a pop-up reading with you.
Yes, I'll be there next week. I got to secure my time, so I got to message Catherine, but.
Oh my God, are you going to do pop-up readings on these?
Oh, okay, I've done one. I've recorded one episode with my friend. He's Native American, and he's up in the reservation. I forgot the mountain back that way, but he's up there, and he was like, let's record a podcast. I'm like, what do you want to do? And he was like, let's just do a reading live and whatever. I was like, if you're down, I'm down.
Yeah.
It was your info, it's your business, so you let me know, and he was down, so it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a dating coach next week, so I'm really excited for that.
So fun.
Tangents, we get sidetracked. Back to the beginning.
Yes.
Tell us all of this. Tell us who you are and this beautiful music that you do.
I am Anna Neimark. I went from being an atheist engineer to a fashion stylist to an energy healer, clearer, sound healer, and mentor, spiritual mentor for facilitators.
Oh, so you do mentorship.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do so many
Honestly,
things.
I didn't look too much because I wanted to just be surprised and I wanted to unpack it as we were here.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've heard from everyone is that you have the most amazing voice.
Thank you.
Anyone that knows her, they're like, oh my God, her voice is just out of this world.
Because channeling angels.
It literally is out of this world.
It is out of this.
It's like, what does it feel like for you? Is it like direct? What is it? It's so interesting with intuitive. Everyone's different.
Yeah, it is. It's me being a clear and neutral channel and just allowing it to come through, but not allowing it to come through just willy-nilly, because I think a lot of channelers are just open to whatever without
parameters.
Parameters.
Yeah.
That's a great word for it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think throughout my path, I've gone through a progression. It wasn't spontaneous awakening and, oh my God, I'm channeling angels now. Mm-hmm. It was a very gradual process to where I learned how to be a really clear and neutral channel to now really be able to trust what's coming through.
Yeah. So you don't have to think as much with it. It's just the alignment.
Yeah.
And just the knowing is a little bit, you grow with it. It's a muscle, I feel.
It is.
Intuition is a muscle. You got to work it out.
It absolutely is. And with an engineering background, the not thinking is a big part of it.
Oh, I bet. Because did you do civil or what kind of engineering?
So I did my degree is in engineering physics.
Okay.
So technically I do use in my work quantum physics all the way.
The science part.
Yeah, I'm using my degree in a completely different way that I thought I would. So I have a bachelor's in electrical engineering, and then I did half a master's or bachelor's in engineering physics, half a master's in electrical engineering. And that was when I was like, all right, I'm like staring at a computer all day.
Yeah.
I'm debugging code. I hate this. So not what I'm meant to be doing. So that left-brained background is there, but it was just so not what I was meant to be doing in the world.
And what was that shift going from because engineers essentially most of them make pretty good money.
Yeah.
So you went from that to, was it like a gamble of being trustful?
100%. 100%. So, but again, it wasn't an immediate trust fall the same way that I didn't just magically start channeling one day, that it was a gradual progression. I think all of these transformations in my life have been gradual processes rather than a quantum leap.
Yeah.
And I know in spiritual circles, we talk about quantum leap all the time,
Timeline
right?
shifts
And I think maybe we respect quantum leaps, or we're fascinated by quantum leaps a little bit more because it's sexy, right?
Yeah.
Versus the very gradual progression over the period of a decade. So mine was, I'm like, how far back do we want to run it?
Oh, let's run it. Let's go back. This is the inspiration. This is what people get, these little nuggets of seeing what you did. And there's only your way, but it's seeing how everyone did it and picking what you want is what helps everyone out.
Yeah. Okay. We're running it back. So when I was born, kidding. Kidding,
Back
not
to
kidding.
Conception.
Yeah.
When I picked my soul contract.
Yeah. When I was born into this world, and I was like, oh, this again?
Here we go.
Why?
What did I not learn last time?
I'm also writing a book. It's called Crazy Shit My Soul Signed Up For.
Stop.
There's
that
going to
is the
be a lot
best
of
title ever.
stories. Like, all right, infinite soul being signs up for what exactly now?
Why? What part of me was like, this is a good idea? Okay.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of those moments in my life. But growing up, if you would have asked me what I want to do when I grow up, like when I was a child, my answer would be, I want to be famous.
Oh.
And I legitimately thought I would be a singer or an actress. And it actually started to go that way. So I was in middle school and high school, I was in choir. And in high school, I was in the vocal music program in New York. And I was on track to become an opera singer.
Oh my God.
So the voice, like the instrument was always there. And I was on this path. And then I got completely thrown off that path by my mother passing away when I was a sophomore in high school, when I was 15. So halfway through high school, I was moved from New York, from my vocal music program, from all my friends, to middle of nowhere, Colorado, suburbia.
Oh my God.
To live with my father. And the choir there was like non-existent.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I stopped singing and I went into math and science.
Wow.
Because that was like the safe choice, right? That was the predictable path. My stepbrother, who's 5 years older, was already in engineering school. He was already in the physics program. He took me under his wing, and that was just my default, right? And a year after my mother passed, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Because,
oh my goodness.
Again, psychosomatically, right? The physical illnesses being a result of emotions, trapped emotions, as now we know a lot of Louise Hay's work and all of that type of stuff. All of the grief, all of the rage around my mother's death that I wasn't allowed to express, I just internalized.
Yeah. Disease is disease. Yeah.
So all of it was my throat chakra. My greatest gifts have also been my greatest wounds, have all been within the throat. Yeah. So I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and I had, between 16 and 17, I had 2 surgeries to completely remove my thyroid. And I remember when the surgeon was talking about the surgery, he said, there's a chance that we could hit a vocal cord and you could lose your voice.
God.
And I just remember how devastated I was. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, I still thought, but I'm a singer. And my father and that whole side of the family, they didn't care. They were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's cancer. Yeah. Like,
we're doing this.
Yeah, we got to cut this thing out and be done with it. And who cares about your voice?
I'm like, no, I do, actually.
I do. Everything turned out great, right? Everything was fine. Did not hit a vocal cord. I kept my voice. But my voice was just stifled for so many years, right? I went this predictable path of checking the boxes of the career path, right? The education, the degrees. So again, got the engineering physics, went for electrical engineering because that was the more lucrative career path.
Yeah.
And halfway through, I was miserable. I was deeply depressed, and I went on medical leave. And I was like, I can't do school anymore. And I knew going on medical leave that I wasn't going to go back. I was
Oh my
halfway through a master's, and I knew that was it. I knew that if I went back, I was deeply depressed, had suicidal ideation, the whole thing. And as soon as I went on that medical leave, it was like this huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I regained my will to live.
Wow.
So that's, in my life, I've had a few of those moments of that feeling. And I now know that when I lose the will to live, that is a very clear indicator that I'm not on...
You're not aligned.
I'm not on path. And as soon as I course correct...
You get that spark back.
Yeah. The will to live returns, and it's, okay, I'm meant to be doing the thing. So at that time, I was like, okay, I need to get out of Colorado, out of suburbia. I want to go to sunshine. I want to go to consistently gorgeous weather. And that was when I manifested for the first time in my life, before I even knew what manifestation was. One of my friends had said, what about San Diego? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never been to San Diego, but people say it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I just applied for jobs like crazy. And one of the jobs I got, or that wanted to interview me, was in San Diego.
Wow.
And they flew me out.
Oh my goodness.
And it was March. It was March of 2010. And I got off the plane, and it was like snowing in Colorado, probably because mid-March, it's still snowing. It's unpredictable. You can be 70 one day, snow the next.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was having migraines all the time. It was just...
The fluctuations.
Yeah, it was not my place.
Yeah.
And I got off the plane, and it was like 70 degrees out, and sunshine and palm trees, right? Like
sunny
right out of the San Diego airport. And I was like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah, this is not a rough life.
I could do this. So they moved me out here, and I was in that engineering job for almost 6 years.
Oh gosh.
And I was still miserable. It was still so not what I was meant to be doing, right? I was here, I was in San Diego. I had enough of a shift and a state change to where I was in the place I was meant to be, but I wasn't in the career or the job or the day-to-day life that I was meant to be in. So I was crying myself out of bed every morning. I was crying in the bathrooms at work. I was drinking myself to sleep every night. I was eating and shopping and drinking all of my feelings.
Yeah.
Because again, I wasn't what I was meant to be doing. Yeah. And I was going to therapy, and my therapist said to me, you've been seeing me for 2 years, and you're still in this job that you hate, and you're in a toxic relationship dynamic, and nothing's really changing for the last 2 years. Let's put you on meds.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. That was my response. My response was like, hold that thought.
Yeah. Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in that. I'm going to go do this personal development seminar that my friend has been bugging me about for the last year. And I've been telling her, no, I'm going to therapy. I'm reading books. I'm journaling. I'm fine. It's fine. It wasn't fine. So I go and do this personal development seminar. And in 3 days, I realized that I have been living my life for other people.
Yeah.
That I was checking all the boxes that somebody else had created for me. And I wasn't living my life authentic to me. And if I wasn't living my life authentic to myself, okay, that's step one, is realizing that. But then the second step is, okay, what is my authentic life actually?
Yeah.
What really is it? What, if I've been living my life for others, what would it look like to live my life for me? And what would I want to do? What would I do in the world if I could do anything?
Yeah.
And out of that weekend, I came out with, I want to facilitate transformation.
How does that even, how does that process even happen though? Because it's such a drastic,
it is,
it's
right?
Such a drastic change. It was like, and a lot of people would be like, yes, give me the meds, shut me up.
Yeah.
Put something in here to make me happy. I've got a good job, getting paid decent money. Let me just keep going this route. Because did you have any
And a lot of people do.
That? Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. That works for some people. But I think people that I talk to that are on the show, people like myself, we have these you just can't shake it. Your brain is just like, there is something else you're supposed to be doing. I don't care what money is there, what career, what title is there. I had a job before this that people would kill for. And I was like, it's not it. And I'm still friends with that my former boss to this day, good friends, but it just, you can't shake that itch. You just gotta go with it. So what was it? How did you even realize it was the sound and the intuition going from where you were?
Like I said, 10-year long journey. So this was, run it back 11, almost 11 years ago now that I did that personal development seminar. And at the time, I was like, okay, facilitating transformation is my thing. What's my access to that immediately in that moment? It was style, it was fashion.
Oh, okay.
Because people had already been coming to me throughout my life asking for fashion advice, like asking me to take them shopping, because I just intuitively knew what looked good on people, like the silhouettes, the shapes, the colors that looked good on people.
And what made them feel good, I'm sure.
And what made them feel good is so everybody would recruit me to take them shopping, but I never thought of it as an actual career, as a valid thing. It was just something that I loved doing. And then being in that seminar and being in a room full of entrepreneurs for the first time in my life, it wasn't necessarily like an entrepreneurial workshop, but a lot of entrepreneurs go to do personal development seminars because we know entrepreneurship is the most intense form of personal development there is.
Yeah. If you want to torture yourself and really go down the rabbit hole, start a business.
Yeah. If you want to have a spiritual awakening, if you want to do some really intensive personal development,
be humbled.
Start a business. So I think for the first time, coming from this background of corporate and a family of corporate, and that's the way to do things. And then suddenly being in a room full of entrepreneurs and people who were like, oh, you want to start a business as a stylist? That's an actual career path. People have styling businesses. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that actually exists. I'm not just dreaming something up nobody's ever heard of. Like there is such a thing as a fashion stylist.
Yeah.
So I went off and I started my personal styling business out of that seminar pretty much. I still worked in engineering for a little bit. Then I quit my job, moved to an engineering sales job because I thought, oh, this is going to help me grow my business, the stable income to grow the dream. I had this thought and I was like, oh, and it's going to help me. The sales skills are going to transfer.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, selling heavy industrial machinery in the oil and gas sector, not the same as selling personal styling services to individuals.
What do I know? But they seem a little bit different.
A little bit. So 6 months into that job, I got fired.
Oh no.
For not meeting their quotas. But at that point, I was already heavily in the personal development world. I was down a path of more spiritual modalities. By the way, I went into this personal development seminar as an atheist engineer.
Jeez, that's so wild.
I came out of it agnostic and curious because it's okay, if this was the box that I was put in by family of origin, by society, by my upbringing, and if I am not that, then what am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
And what actually feels true and real and authentic for me.
What sparks you. But that, again, the community, because the community you were around set that up for you. And I always say you're as strong as your weakest link. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just keeping in mind you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So when everyone, your brother's an engineer and your dad's telling you this is the career to go, you're going to end up going from where when you're with your mom, I'm sure she was encouraging of your music and all that. And you are who you surround yourself with. So you go from being in that space and then now being around these entrepreneurs and now you're getting creative inspiration and it starts to click.
Yeah. So it started to click and I was fired from the engineering sales job and I was like, okay, this is my push to actually take the styling business full time. And I did. And concurrently with that, I was doing more personal development, went more into spirituality, started learning every modality I could get my hands on and working with different mentors and had my spiritual awakening and all the things. And I was blending a little bit more of the spirituality into the personal style. And I started singing again just for fun, just to rediscover, as I rediscovered my sense of personal style again, I also rediscovered my voice. It was like, okay, what's authentic to me in what I'm wearing and how I'm showing up, in how I speak, in the singing, all of it. And then COVID hit.
Oh gosh, good old COVID. Good old COVID.
And all the stores shut down.
Oh gosh, and as a
And
personal shopper, designer,
could not take people shopping anymore. Nobody was going anywhere.
Oh my God.
Nobody was wearing anything except athleisure.
Yeah, 100%.
So overnight, my whole business became obsolete.
Yeah, the trajectory was just...
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do?
But let it be a testament that it's like when you put that intention out there, align me and I want to live my purpose, live on purpose.
Yeah.
And you're, what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, we can argue. But when you're not fully doing that, and even if you feel like you are and you're not, the universe has ways of being like, nope,
Course correcting.
go this way, stop, go this way.
Pivot.
And that kept happening to you.
Yeah.
Did you notice that was happening? Or was it one of those, everything's working against me? Were you in that victim state?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's hard. But again, when you choose paths like this, it's, I think one of the biggest tests is not being a victim. We've been tiered to this process.
Yes.
So
I think
that.
over time, I've gotten better and better at recognizing, oh, this is just a course correction.
Yes. Just a course correction.
Yeah. And I think in that moment of, oh, this career that I've built over the last 5 or 6 years, at that point, I had been doing the styling work, and that I finally thought like I had broken through something. I had my first 11K month, and I was like, hallelujah. 5 years into business, almost 6 years into business, I made it, right? And I thought, okay, we are on an upward trajectory, and then a month later, the world shuts down. And I'm like, and screeching halt. But at that point, I was already working with my mentors, studying these different modalities. And one of the modalities that I was exploring the most at that moment in time was Akashic record clearing. And I was like, all right, I don't have a job anymore. Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's doing anything. We're on lockdown. What am I going to do with myself? And I just sat there and cleared my records. I was like, let's make a list of all of the energetic blocks that I can think of. Wow. Like my whole family lineage, all the things. And I would just sit there and I would clear my records for sometimes hours a day.
Wow, talk about utilizing your time. And really quick, for people that don't know about Akashic Records, a quick little breakdown.
Quick little breakdown. The Akashic Records are basically a library of the soul. So past, present, future, all of the lifetimes, all of the experiences your soul as an infinite being has ever had, will ever have, because we know time is nonlinear. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Oh, such a good movie, by the way.
Such a good movie. And I think a really fairly accurate representation of
100%.
the whole concept. So yeah, the Akashic Records are a library of your soul. And the modalities that I'm trained in are specific to pinpointing the root causes of energetic blocks and clearing them.
And that's what I love, getting to the root. Because we could do surface level work. We could do little
for
band-aids.
Years.
Oh yeah, we could tread water essentially, spiritually tread water. But getting to the root of it and pulling that out so it doesn't grow again, so it doesn't keep manifesting.
Yep.
That's beautiful. That work is powerful.
Yeah. And I started with doing it on myself, and I was just sharing about it, and people started coming out of the woodwork. And people are like, hey, my house is haunted. Can you clear it? Yes. Hey, I'm having sex dreams about my ex from 10 years ago and I'm happily married to somebody else. Can you make that stop? I'm like, yes, we can do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And people just started coming to me and started paying me. And then within, I think, 2 months, I had a booked out business.
Oh my God. Because you were aligned.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it on purpose. And you're like the third, fourth person this week that I've talked to that it was just so much what seemed unpleasant stuff was happening, experiences, getting fired, not getting the promotion, and then you just let it go. One of my favorite sayings is let go and let God, whatever God is, higher power. Yeah. And then when you just let that, and I have it tattooed, detach and surrender, because that really is the secret code, and you did that. Yep. And it just literally fell in your lap.
And sometimes surrender feels like giving up, you guys.
Yeah.
Because I was like, my business that I've spent 6 years building just came to a screeching halt. What the fuck am I going to do? I'm just going to sit here and use my modalities that I just got certified in.
Working on what you got.
Because I'm like,
cards you were dealt.
I don't have anything else to do. Like,
And knowing when to give up is key too. I think I always forget his name, the podcast host of Diary of a CEO. I think it's Stephen Barnett. He has a quote where he was like, someone was like, "You're so successful," and I say this all the time on the podcast, but it's like, "You're so successful. What's the secret?" And he was like, "I know when to give up." And it's such an ego blow in the human part, being able to admit defeat.
Yep.
But when you do that, and you know you're still coming from abundance, and you know you're still gonna just get blessed and aligned, magic happens.
Yeah.
And you're proof of that.
Yeah.
Because that's wild to going from the engineering to styling to the world shutting down to being like, oh, Akashic Records, which who knows? Not many people know what Akashic Records. Have you ever heard that word? So, and then to go work on yourself and be like, I am a testament. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I am my first number one client. And through that whole process of doing that work and working with one of my mentors who's a psychic medium of over 40 years.
Wow.
And she does vocal toning. And the first time I ever heard her do it on a call, it was like, oh, wait, I do this too. It was like a soul remembering.
Oh, that's the other thing that's been coming through all week is remembering. That's so funny.
Yeah. Oftentimes it takes a catalyst.
Yes.
It takes being in the presence of somebody with a gift to awaken it within you.
Yes.
And that's what she did for me. And then I was like, oh, cool. I can do this too. I can channel these angelic tones. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but I was like, oh, it sounds like angels singing.
Yeah.
And I already have the instrument set up, right? Everything
And
perfectly.
training, without even knowing you were being trained for it at that point as a child.
Yeah. So that's how that component came in. And I didn't actually start using the sound as part of my work until about 4 years ago. I think I was at a women's circle and we were doing it wasn't chanting and it wasn't like kirtan, but we were doing some sort of toning like sound, and sound just came through me and the whole room stopped.
Like you're literally a speaker.
Yeah.
For the music to just flow through.
Yeah. And the women were like,
wait, what's that?
What's happening? Have you always done this? I'm like, yeah, it just comes through me. And one of my friends in the circle was like, all right, we're going to do an event.
Oh, so she just threw you out. She was like, we're full on going with this.
Yeah.
But again, who you surround yourself with is key, because like I was telling you before we started, my friend got me this DJI camera that we're on, and it's the people that believe in you, that see your greatness before you even see it.
Totally.
And they give you that gentle little nudge.
Yeah.
Wow. But then the gift that was already yours to just throw it out there. And you're like, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
But everyone recognized it.
Yeah. And that's been really cool. So I still one-on-one do the Akashic record work. And then for groups, I do the sound healing.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
Vocal toning.
Because ironically, the studio we're in right now, you've worked in the studio before.
Yeah.
So
I actually
funny.
hosted an event in here a couple months ago.
Okay. So
and I
what is
will
that?
again in the next few weeks.
And you almost do weekly events, don't you?
Every 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
try to, yeah.
I haven't been to one yet to be the operative word. So I'm
Soon.
very excited. Yes, very soon. Hopefully next week. Next week's more open.
Yay.
But if you have one next week,
Next Monday.
bam, there you go.
I know, it's 3 days away, but people in San Diego are last minute anyways.
We go with the wind out here. We really do. That's why I love it here. Because I'm like, I'm going to go with the wind. I'm a hippie. I just, wherever spirit takes me to go, wherever they tell me to go is where I go. Yeah.
Sometimes my left brain, sometimes my engineer brain goes insane from
This is not, it's like not computing. Don't do that. You're like, no, it's fine. Trust me.
It's like the day before my event, I have 1 or 2 people signed up and I'm like, okay, am I still doing the event? Am I going to cancel? And then the day of the event, like 10 people sign up. I'm like, okay.
That's always nerve-wracking. I've had events where no one signs up. I have some where there's 2 people. I'm doing one at Maya Moon next month, actually.
Oh, amazing.
And the intrusive thoughts are always like, no one's going to sign up. You're going to have to cancel it. I'm like, stop it. It's one person's going to be there. It's fine.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about the sound. What is that? What is that like? Walk us through that experience.
Okay. So everything I do starts from a foundation of grounding and protection so that you are in a safe space. You're in your own cocoon. So because a lot of times you go to a big sound healing or a breath work or something, and people come in with their shit and they're releasing stuff. And then it's like,
you're picking up on that. It is
Exactly.
energy is frequency. Energy transfers.
and if you are a highly sensitive being or an empath, you can walk away with some shit that you didn't sign up to walk away with.
Yeah.
So I start everything from a basis of grounding and protection. So we do ceremonial cacao to ground, because I love cacao and the community feeling of it.
Yeah.
So we drop you into your heart space, into your body. We ground, and then I lead you through a meditation to set up your energetic protection. So you're in your own sovereign field, you're in your own space. So we're co-creating a group field together, and that's really powerful and magical. And we know the power of groups getting together with an intention, right?
Yeah.
With a shared and combined intention. And we still want to make sure you're not taking on anybody's stuff through the process. So we establish those foundations. And then I take you into a meditative journey through the chakras. And I bring some of the Akashic record clearing into it, but I don't go into your records, but I guide you through the process for yourself.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
With both guided meditation and sound. Wow. So then I guide you through a process to clear, and then sound to facilitate that. Then I guide you through a process to activate the good stuff, right? Because once we clear out the stuff that we don't want, we want to bring in something to fill that void. So we activate the good stuff, and then again, a round of sound for the activation. And we do that through every single chakra, and then ground it all back into the body. And throughout the process, you're like connecting with your ancestors and your higher self and your inner child.
It's happening.
Yeah, and your soul. And it's a very multi-dimensional process, but then we end it all with, and you are you're a multi-dimensional being in a human body.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do we drop it back into the body, back into the space, back into presence? And then at the end we share, and you are off back into the world.
And the clearing that happens during that is insane. I don't
It
know
is
why
insane.
the idea of pregnant women came when you were talking about that. Imagine someone being pregnant and the baby is in that space. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. So good. Some people have full-on psychedelic journeys.
Oh, yes.
Without
No
any psychedelics. We call cacao a plant medicine, but it's not psychoactive. It just, it's a way to drop you deeper into your body and into your process. But some people go on full-on journeys. And for me, as somebody who doesn't naturally see things, I more just know and feel in my body. It's really cool. I love doing the shares at the end for people who want to share it, because it's so cool to me to hear about the journeys that people go on.
Yeah, you really don't. And shout out to people that like facilitate plant medicine.
Yeah.
But when you're like in those natural spaces and you see what you're capable of without any outside actual plant medicine, it's showing you your power.
Exactly.
And how much you could clear, how much you could take on.
Yeah. You don't need ayahuasca. You are the ayahuasca.
You are the ayahuasca. Jungle. Yeah, I was getting a massage. He came over last night. I was getting a massage. He's doing mobile massages now.
Oh, amazing.
And he, the magical
They're
being
so
that
magical,
he is.
yeah.
I just was like laying there, and I just got the biggest, and it was funny because before he got there, it was like womb meditation kept coming up to me. And then as we're in the massage, he's doing his energy work as we're doing the massage. And it was like, it's time to start doing the womb clearing. Ooh. But again, no plant medicine, nothing, just me and just working my body. And then him being the beautiful masculine energy that he is, holding space. It is wild what you could do for yourself when you have the right facilitator next to you.
Yeah.
You are who you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
Again.
That's a woven thread through this whole conversation. I love it. Yeah, so in my sound clearing and activation ceremonies, that's what we do. And it's like a 2-hour microcosm of what's possible in the work.
I'm really excited to get to that. Yeah. Do you do sound bowls or anything? Or
is it, so I do bowls and voice.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of bowls as the foundation and voice to really drive it home. Yeah. Because sound frequency and I think voice is potentially even more powerful than instruments. But sound frequency cuts through matter, right? It gets to you on a cellular level, on a soul level, on all of the levels, and it's that resonance.
Yeah.
So it's deeply powerful, and it's beautiful, and I love it as a modality too, because I feel like the old engineer left brain is I have to study and get certified and have all these qualifications, which I do, but this is the one modality that just comes so easily to me. Yeah. and it almost doesn't feel fair. I'm like, but wait, I didn't have to fight for it. But then I kind of did, right? Being told that I might never be able to sing again and the whole thing.
The way life unfolded for all of this to happen, because everything down to leaving New York, all of the unfolding was the price to pay. We all
And then
pay
I'm
a
like,
price.
oh, wait, okay. All right. I did pay for it.
Yeah,
There was a cost
essentially.
of admission.
But that's a funny part too about being a business owner. It's like you always feel like I gotta prove, or I gotta do more of this, or I gotta do more of that. But being in the space that you're in as a facilitator, and for a lot of what you said I love is that you're like handing the power. Because I'm very big when I do my readings, or whether it's my marketing, whatever it is, I like to hand people their power.
Yeah.
We're just these speakers, but it's a reflection of you and what you are. And we might be able to get a deeper dive than you could on your own, but it's still the work they have to do. So when you do these sessions, do you get people that come back and they're like, this and this happened after the session because it just weird? What's one of your favorite stories that you've had?
Ooh. One that is very present for me is the real miracle of this work is a client about 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago. And she was not woo-woo at all.
Yeah, I love those are my favorite ones.
Yeah. She's actually Eastern European skeptic.
Oh, complete
Love those.
opposite.
Former skeptic, Eastern European also. So she, a friend of hers who's a mutual friend, had referred her. She was at the point where she was desperate. She had gone through 2 failed rounds of IVF. More than anything, she wanted to get pregnant and couldn't. And the doctors had told her, you could go through a 3rd round, but it's next to a 0% chance at this point, since you've already failed 2 rounds. And she was like, I don't believe in this woo-woo thing, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll try anything because this is the thing that I want most in my life. And we worked together over the span of 5 sessions. So probably over the span of about 2 months, and cleared out all of the energetic blocks to her becoming a mother. And a lot of them were rooted in fear and not feeling safe with motherhood. And a lot of the roots of that were in her family lineage, where motherhood was seen as dangerous and unsafe, and being a mother was this huge burden, rather than the gift that consciously she knew it would be and that she wanted more than anything. But the unconscious or subconscious runs 95% of our reality. That's what was showing up, and that's what was alive in her body and keeping her body in an unsafe place for pregnancy.
Technically, her body's doing what it's supposed to be doing, because that's what she believes.
Protecting her. Yeah. So when we removed those barriers and those protections, then she got pregnant, and now her kid is 3 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful testament. There's so many stories I've heard like that. And even if it's not a physical thing with your health, it's business or it's relationships. And especially with relationships, we call in these mirrors of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And it's because that's what we feel, that's what we put out. And then we sit here and wonder, why do I keep getting this guy and this guy? And that's what you believe you're worthy of at the end of the day, subconsciously.
And soul contracts. And
You're
totally
cleared
like
out.
living out the same repetitive pattern, which could be with that person, rooted in some lifetime that you had with that person, or also rooted in the family lineage. Anything that's a pattern that runs in the family likely had its roots many generations back, and you're carrying out this sense of loyalty to that ancestor, but it doesn't actually complete their karma. It doesn't help you.
No one's winning.
No
But
one's
it's just
winning.
this cycle. It's like it has to stop here. The work that in this generation, I feel like people anywhere from like their 20s to like their 40s right now, those 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, right? What is that? 4?
Yeah.
I confused myself.
2.
2?
Yeah.
Because I'm all 2. I'm thinking 2. I'm a communications major, nowhere near engineering at all.
I can do math. This is my wheelhouse.
This
And
is
go.
But these generations, we have been given the task of really, it stops
Cycle
here,
breakers. Yep.
and it ends here. And then I have my child here, and we will just butt heads, but it's like, no, you are not going to do what I did. You're not going to do what my mom did, what your grandmother did. But then there's also a level of, I'm here to facilitate her process. It's like we facilitate this process without controlling them.
Yeah.
So it's like we kind of just I gotta let her learn her lessons. I gotta let her make mistakes. And it's just part of the process. And it's so hard trying to clear it while having a little mini you, where you see them just repeating the same behaviors.
But the cool thing is energetically, when you fully break the cycle, they get the benefit of it too.
Oh yeah, and I'm breaking the fuck out of this. Breaking them left and right. And and it's frustrating too as a parent, because I'm like, I wish you actually knew what I was doing. Yeah. Maybe you would appreciate it. Maybe it would mean something to you, but she won't till she's 20, 30, maybe 40.
She will, just maybe not now.
Not now. We're talking
for a couple years
down the road. I'm like, talk to me when the frontal lobe is developed. They get so mad. I say that all the time. But I'm like, when you understand, we'll have a conversation. But we have to. We look at previous generations and the work they didn't do. And it's a little bit frustrating. It's like, you had to know on some level that you were messing up and it was going to affect me and you didn't care to change it. And then especially being a parent, it's really tough being like, I know now I will break all the cycles. I will bite the bullet. I will take it so she doesn't have to.
Yep.
But my mom couldn't do that. It's tough. So do you work with clients like that?
Yes.
Yeah. There's so many of us out there right now. We're struggling.
Yeah. The short answer is yes. And I think some people in older generations do wake up and it clicks for them and they want to do the work, even if it's later in life.
Yeah.
And again, on a soul level, some of them didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, I say all the time, our parents did what they did with what they had. We can't expect them to build a house if they didn't have a hammer, they didn't have the nails, nothing. But we're like, why didn't you build a house? But with what? I did not have any of the tools.
Yeah.
But there are some, like my godmother, she's done so much work and her marriage is so beautiful and she has such an amazing life. But looking at who she was when we were kids, I'm like, I never would have thought that would be her. But she somehow figured out how to do the work.
Yeah. And I think for older generations, it comes to them, or when they're ready to seek it out, it happens later in life. Because I do have some clients in their 60s, but it's
better late than never.
Better late than never. And it's never too late.
It's never. You got breath in your lungs, you can do it.
Yeah, and I have some people coming to my sound healing events too that are like in their 70s. Wow. Yeah, doing this work. And I'm like, yes, more power to you.
And are the events, are they themed or is it a general just healing?
It's a general journey through the chakras. And at the beginning, we also do a circle. We share our intentions because again, when you're in a group, you can put your intention behind everybody else's intention and it's more powerful that way. And also creating that little bit of relatability between people probably never met. So everybody shares their intention for the evening. Usually I'll do a little spiel. I'm not an astrologer by any means, but I'll do a little spiel on what's happening cosmically and what we might be affected by currently, because
we get affected.
We do get affected.
Yep.
So I just do a brief little overview of what's happening in the current climate and then intentions, and we dive on in. And I think everybody's journey is individual to them, but I do find a lot of unifying themes and some evenings. Yeah, the threads that weave through. Yeah, there was one evening where so many people, like the majority of the people in attendance, were going through career transition.
Wow.
And we're trying to figure out their next step or desiring clarity on their next step. There was another one where 3 of the people were going through breakups and it was very relationship focused.
We're like little magnets. We kind of all just like ding.
We do.
When we're next to each other.
Totally.
What do you tell your clients? Oh gosh, this was like months ago. It was months ago actually. And I'm 4th generation energy worker. I come from women who have done this work. So I feel very blessed that I have tools and resources. And I know, again, the parameters, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. But there was one moon specifically months and months ago that I was like, this is one that I need to clear a lot out. And I was on my cycle too. I'm a cycle girly. So when the moon's here, my cycle, I go with it. And I was in the shower that night and I did my little rituals. And the next day I wake up and she had just got the news that she got on the football team. And she was like, Mom, the coach emailed me. And I was like, wait, I'm about to pass out. And I had just woke up. And she was like, what? I was like, I did energy work last night and it was a lot. And I was literally passing out from, and I could feel from whatever I let go. So are there any tips and tricks of the trade that you could give us when we're doing that kind of work with ourselves?
Yes. Yeah. So that's one of the things I teach, right? So one of the legs of my business is actually teaching facilitators how to clear, ground, protect their own energy and clear and ground and protect all the spaces that they work in so that they're not taking on energy from others, so their clients aren't entangling with each other. That's, again, why I start all of my spaces with grounding and protection. So having a really solid energetic hygiene practice, having that practice of grounding, of protecting your energy, of making sure you've got your like safe space established so that the energy work doesn't fully take you out.
Yeah.
And also knowing what the human body needs to support you through the purging process. Because a lot of the time, sometimes I'll get big headaches after really significant energy work. I had a session on Tuesday, and all day Wednesday, I had a low-grade migraine. And again, just knowing how to support the physical body, do more grounding, get outside in nature, barefoot in the grass and the sand.
Yes.
My thing is jumping in the ocean.
Oh my, and we're so blessed that we can literally just go drive 10 minutes and do that.
Exactly. And Epsom salt baths and things like that. Eating something grounding and nourishing, and really grounding, meat and potatoes type of ground, or your version of that.
Yeah.
So knowing how to support yourself is really important, because it's easy to get stuck in the ethers, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm just doing all of this magical, mystical work. But it's like, all right, but the physical body gets affected.
Still human. Yeah, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, that process.
Yeah, so it's what does your body need to move that energy safely?
Yeah, and stay nourished spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and sometimes it's even telling your spirit team, like, if you're like, okay, I feel like I'm about to pass out, you call on your team. Hey, guys,
I need help, literally.
Yeah, help. And if this is an upgrade that you're facilitating through, can you slow it down so it's easier on my body?
Yeah, because I'll have those when I do really big energy works, which, like I said, usually are with the full moon, usually on a cycle. And I know what I'm signing up for, but there's been a couple that I'm just like, I have almost taken myself out because it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it's intense, but it definitely helps with those shifts. Again, those quantum shifts, those timeline shifts. And I could literally feel the change. It's almost like in the movies where it's like that, like, and you get like the warp and you switch. Yeah. I feel it inside and I'm like, okay, cool, I made the shift. It's working with that. How do you advise people once they've done the work, the personal development? I'm very big on accountability. We're not victims, we're volunteers. And there's some I've had really bad things happen to me. There's really bad things that happen to women. It's not undermining what they've been through. But also, are we going to sit here and cry forever? Or are we going to get our bootstraps, get it together and keep it pushing?
Turn your pain into your power.
Your pain is your power. How do you advise them going forward and going through what you've been through, preaching from the, pun intended, choir, preaching from the choir?
So, first of all, it never ends. Recognizing that it is a never-ending journey. There isn't like I will do this amount of healing and then I have arrived.
Yeah, we're good now.
We're good now. Like, I don't need to heal anything anymore. I think it's knowing that the healing journey is forever.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
Have a long one.
Yeah. Well, and it's after this life is over, you do it in the next one too. So the healing journey is never going to end. The healing comes in layers, but also not getting stuck in the healing loop to where you're taking your healing so seriously that you're forgetting to live.
Yes.
So
that's a big one.
Yeah. Like, actually, yes, doing the healing work and knowing that it's a continuous thing, but also living life and finding pockets of joy and play. And here's the thing too, our nervous systems feel safe when we're in play. Because when we're in play, the nervous system perceives it as there's no threat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
freely.
Yeah, if you're moving freely, there are no threats. So if you're even going through a nervous system healing journey too, and expanding the nervous system's capacity for safety, for joy, for pleasure, making more time for play versus the hard work of healing. Because I know it's easy to And I'm guilty of it too. I've gotten stuck in these like, but no, I have to get to a certain point in my healing.
Once I'm here, then
Yeah.
what is here?
But there is no
that
here.
continues to, like you said, it continues to get shifted. You're on this
Right.
journey, it's there. Now it's being moved over there.
Yeah.
But I love what you said about play. I never thought about that. That's a genius. And it's such a cheat code because it's like you get to have fun, you get to play, you get to release. And
Yep.
by default, now your body's going to actually be able to allow those manifestations. A lot of the times, we'll ask, believe, receive.
Yeah.
We'll write down, we're journal. But that subconscious, now, okay, I'm doing all this, but I got to keep hustling. I got to keep pushing. You're in survival. Like you can't come from abundance in those spaces.
Yeah. And ask, believe, receive is still very mental. It's still very much in the mental plane. So how do you bring it into the body? How do you actually embody pleasure and joy?
Your version of it.
Yeah.
And ask, who was it that wrote that book? I'm not
Ask,
remembering.
believe, receive?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Abraham Hicks.
No, not Abraham Hicks. Oh my God, I love Abraham. I've been to their seminars out here though.
I have too,
They're
a few of them.
So good. Chandra, is it Chandra or something? Anyways, but the author of that book, that was great. But a lot of us kind of got set up for failure in doing that. And you had mentioned in the beginning, you manifested San Diego without even knowing.
Yeah.
And that's when you're your most powerful, is when you have no idea what manifestation is. Because then now we know, and now we get in our way, blocking our blessings.
Yeah.
Because we overthink it and we obsess over it and then we suffocate it because we're in that lax state of mind. I don't have it, so I got to work harder. I don't have it. So the universe is literal. The universe is like, oh, you don't got it? Bet. But it's like, no, not like that. I meant it like I'm worth. And it's like, no, just kidding. That's not what I meant. And it's simple, but also not at the same time.
Yeah.
So you mentioned San Diego and manifesting. What is another good example of something that you manifested?
About 4.5 years ago, so I've been in San Diego almost 16 years, and about 4.5 years ago, San Diego kind of stopped feeling like home. And I was like, all right, I want to figure out where my next home is. I think I'd known people who are digital nomads, who have that kind of lifestyle, who are bouncing from place to place and exploring the world. But up until that point, like back in March 2022, literally 4 years ago, I had never taken a solo trip that was longer than a weekend.
Oh, wow.
And the idea of traveling the world just by myself freely seemed just unfathomable to me. I could wrap my brain around it because I saw other people and I personally knew people who had done it. It wasn't just an online thing where I've seen people do it. And I'm like, is that actually real? I've seen people in real life do it, but it still didn't feel real for me, like a real tangible possibility for me. And then in March of 2022, my ex and I broke up and he moved out. And I was like, okay, there's nothing really holding me in San Diego anymore. And I went to Kauai.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, man. I just saw like sparkly, beautiful sun.
Yeah, and deeply, deeply healing and deeply spiritual. And I went for 2 weeks, and that was the longest I had ever been on a solo trip.
You went full blown. You were like, I'm gonna go to LA for the weekend. No, you're like, I'm going gone.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
So I went to Kauai for 2 weeks, and I had this deeply healing experience. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna move there.
Yeah.
You know that thing on vacation where you're like, can
This
I
is
move
home.
here?
This is it.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Am I moving here? And I actually started to set things up. I got the ball rolling. In motion, but it wasn't coming together. I even found a place to live, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Something about it didn't feel just right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, scratch that. And then I had that women's circle experience with the toning and my friend who wanted to co-facilitate an event. And I did that at my old apartment complex at one of the big community rooms. So I did one of those events, and it was the fall equinox. Yeah. Fall equinox. So a lot of these things happen around like the solstice and equinox.
March, spring, fall equinox.
Yeah. So almost 6 months later, fall equinox, I did a sound event, and I had to download in a meditation that you need to do this same event for your clients on the East Coast. And at that time, I had 8 clients between New York and Jersey.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to do the thing. And then I was like, okay, but if I'm going to go to New York, I might as well go to Paris.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm already halfway there. And I had been feeling a pull to go to Paris. I'm like, but if I'm going to go to New York and Paris, I'm not going to be gone just a week. And if I'm going to be gone like 2 weeks or longer, why am I paying for this apartment that I, to be real, can't afford and don't want to be at anymore?
Yeah.
So that's how I made the decision to go full nomad. And on Halloween 2022, I moved out of my apartment in Carmel Valley, Del Mar, put all of my stuff in storage, sold my car that same day, was on a plane the next morning.
So you were committed. You're like, the car's gone, everything wrapped it up.
Yep.
I love the way you think. I love it. Because like, I just love it. You're like, I'm not going to just inch. We're going all the way. But you had been through
That's the Aries, I think.
Fire energy, like shooting off. I love that.
And we gone.
But like you said, it took 10 years for the first part of the journey to happen.
Yeah.
So you've paid dues, right? We'll say you paid dues. You've been through the process. You know your body. You know your mind, how it feels. I always tell people, you have to mess up. You need contrast. And Abraham Hicks preaches contrast. So nothing's ever against you. It's always for you. If we could learn the feelings within ourselves. So I'm sure you had moments where you made a choice and it was a no. And you're like, ooh, I know what that feels like now. And you had some hard yeses and you hit. You were like, I'm going to New York. Might as well go to Paris.
Yes. Might as well move out of my place.
Might as well sell my place. I'm like, just keep it going.
And the way that I did that was actually a no in my body because my nervous system burned out. I was so sick. I didn't even end up doing the event on the East Coast because I was just so sick from the massive shift of moving out of my apartment, selling my car, getting rid of all my stuff or putting it in storage and being on a plane the next day. I could have done that in a safer way for my nervous system, and that's a lesson learned. But then it was like overnight, I was a digital nomad and I was like, all right, let's go.
Wow. I love that.
I was a manifestation and so many manifestations throughout that journey of nomadic travel. So that first round of travel, so I ended up East Coast for 2 weeks, Paris and France for about 2 months, Portugal and Spain. And the last stop was Barcelona. And then I was going to go back to France and come back to the US right after my 3 months in Europe.
Wow.
And before I left, while I was still living here, one of my mentors was doing an Egypt retreat.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
And at the time I was like, that just doesn't seem feasible, right? Because at that point I hadn't traveled, hadn't done any of the things. It's okay, that's a nice dream, but not really realistic. And by the time I was in Europe already and I was closer, like logistically more feasible, I had emailed the organizer and it was all sold out. The retreat was sold out. And I just emailed him and I said, hey, I'm in Europe. If anybody cancels, would you let me know? Put me on a list.
Yeah.
And he's, yeah, probably not going to happen, but sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm at the end of my 3 months in Europe. I'm in Barcelona. And I get in, and I'm like 5 days from leaving Europe.
Wow.
5 days before the start of this retreat, I get an email, somebody canceled last minute. Do you still want to come?
Oh my God.
Barcelona is a 4-hour direct flight from Cairo.
Are you serious? What? How was that even, like, how does that even, I don't even question. I don't question it. But like my little human brain is, how do these things work out? And it's such a drastic, it's not the same thing, but the same thing. But like I told you, when we got here, I was headed to the studio. And right as I'm passing my kid's exit to her school, the nurse calls. And they're like, your kid, you got to come pick her up. She pulled the muscle, so her tummy's like hurting really bad right now. And I'm like, and I literally just like, safely across the freeway and got off the exit. But it's that divine timing of the exact second that I needed to get off on that exit is when I heard get off on the exit. And it's the same thing, being 4 hours from Egypt. Like, what?
And the hilarious part is it almost didn't happen. And I'm so grateful for my friends. And I was telling one of my friends this story. And she's, how many months do you have on your passport? And I'm like, I don't know, like 4 months, right? And because apparently your passport's expiration date doesn't count because you need 3 months outside of the expiration date to come back to the States.
Yeah.
And like to travel to other countries. And some countries you need 6 months, and Egypt is one of those countries. And at that point, I had 4 months left on my passport before the expiration date. So I could have gone all the way to Egypt and been turned right back around and sent back to Europe.
Europe.
Yeah. And Barcelona has a US consulate. I show up and I'm like, oh, how do I do this? I'm supposed to leave in 4 days. Like, what do I do? And normally passport services take months.
Yeah, forever.
I go to the consulate in Barcelona, the US consulate, go in without an appointment, nothing. They're like, oh yeah, you can just file this form for an emergency passport.
No.
Show us that you have your flight information within 5 days, whatever. It's a 24-hour turnaround, $130.
Stop.
There's a photo booth in the consulate where you can take your passport photos.
Oh my God, what are the odds?
Yeah.
What are the odds? Like, how does that even all happen?
And I will tell you that Egypt retreat was the week of the anniversary of my mother's death.
Oh.
And there were so many moments throughout the retreat where I'm like, oh,
She's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just move that. Okay, now go that way.
Yeah. And literally one of the stops we did as part, it was like 8 days and multiple cities and flights and a cruise down the Nile. And one of the stops we got to, at the end, we got to Luxor, I think the evening before we were supposed to get there. And we had a free evening. And a few women and I ventured out and we brought our local guide with us. Because I'm like, yeah, 3 white women wandering around after dark, maybe not the best idea. So we ventured out to just explore a little bit. We find a hookah bar called Cafe Moscow, a Russian-themed hookah bar in the middle of Luxor.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay. And it was the night before the anniversary of my mom's death. And my mom's Russian. I'm Russian.
No.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. It cannot be more divinely placed. Every single bit of that.
Yeah. So just winks, constant winks from the universe.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, over the years, I've become a lot more aware of them.
Yeah.
So again, your brain's reticular activating system, the more you look for miracles, the more you'll see them, the more you'll find them, the more synchronicities there will be.
That's so beautiful. I was talking to, when I was at Maya Moon the other week doing readings, it was towards the end, I think I was there till 5:30, and this older gentleman comes up and he's in his 70s. And he was like, all right, give me a reading. And I'm like, what can I tell you? You
lived life.
You let me know. And he was like, just pull some cards. So we're just chatting and chatting. And then at the end, he gets up and he has his little walker. And he was like, it doesn't matter because I'm not in a wheelchair. I could still walk, but I have my walker. And I was like, you're going to walk for a very long time. And he was like, don't forget, always leave room for miracles. And I was like, oh my God, sir. I was like, thank you so much. And then he just wheels away. The cutest little thing from Belgium. Came out here when he was like a teenager from Belgium.
Aww.
But the same thing, leave room for miracles, notice the miracles, and see the miracles and everything, because they truly are everywhere, even when you think they're not. I really believe we're not given more than we could handle. And you're clearly a testament to that. Polar opposite ends of life.
Yeah.
And look where you are now, hosting and facilitating and mentoring. This has been just beyond.
It has been
Beyond inspirational. It just like, this whole week, the readings, everyone I've been talking to has just been, the theme of the week has been moving authentically. And when you do that, you just watch how the pieces fall into place, and everything that looked like it was blowing up was not. But it's that Tower card in tarot. It has sometimes greatness is preceded by chaos. It has to burn down to be built back up.
Yeah.
So if you're in those moments, proof is right here.
Yeah.
It happens.
And you've got to clear the shit that isn't you to discover who you actually are and who you always were.
Remembering, that's the other thing this week. My mutual destino, she's such a beautiful soul. They're such a beautiful soul. And we're talking about that too, bringing people back to, she does poke tattoos and she does limpias. She's a curandera. And it's just teaching people how to remember. I'm not even teaching because you know it. It's just holding the space for you to remember. And you're
removing
doing that.
the obstacles to remembering. Because a lot of the time we, and I know I've done this too, put obstacles in our own paths to forget.
Oh man, it's you against you. You're in competition with no one. You are so amazing. I got one last question for you. We talked about this. The song. If you had a movie made of your life and there's a theme song, what would it be and why?
Yeah, it's hard for me because I'm so musically minded, hearted, that I have a million songs going through my brain at any given moment. And I talk in song lyrics sometimes. And there's like a song to every moment or scenario or aspect of life. But the one that's been like popping up for me lately is High Priestess by Queen Herbie.
Such a good one. And we're going to link it too so everyone can listen to it.
Yeah, it's very uplifting and stepping into your power.
Yeah, and I think we have dualities, male, female dualities within us. So you don't got to be a girl to have that song relate to you. Like men need their divine feminine power too. So it could be for everybody.
Yeah, so like in my sound healing events, in my sound clearing and activation ceremonies, we go through each chakra, right? And we go through the sacral. When we go through the sacral, it's your womb space. Yeah. And I make a point to say, like, everybody, whether you're in a male or female or other body, everybody has an energetic womb space. And that is the seat of your life force energy, your creativity, your power to create in the world.
Yeah.
We all got it.
Just remember, that's all you got to do is remember, it's all there. Let us know where to find you, social medias. How do we get to your events?
Yes, social media, Instagram, at Anna, ANNA, _ Neimark, NEIMARK. And my next sound clearing and activation ceremony is on Monday, March 23rd. So celebrating the equinox and all of these magical energies that we're in right now, the start of Aries season, the astrological new year. So that's Monday, 7 p.m. in Solana Beach at White Raven Acupuncture, which is at 444 South Cedros.
444.
444. And then the next one after that will be either March 31st or April 7th. And it will be right here at the Evolution Room.
Which is just so funny because that's where we're at. Like how, again, what are the odds?
Synchronicity.
There are so many places. We're in San Diego. There are so many places I could get, and we're right here.
We're right here. It's perfect.
And it's called the Evolution. It's just, I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole. We're just going to stop there. We're going to end it there. You've been so amazing. I appreciate your time.
You've been so amazing.
Much.
Thank you for the insightful questions. Thank you for the connection, for the synchronicity and how we met.
Yes.
And thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep doing it.
God's ears. Peace out, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.